With 6 films and 23 years under its belt,
You want me.
the Scream franchise had a full and nuanced history to draw from when creating their latest installment in the series, Scream 6.
So let's finish this.
Fans have picked up on clues and breadcrumbs throughout the films to help them piece together Ghostface's dark past. But sometimes, the juiciest clues are in the scenes that didn't make the final cut of the film. In 1996, the first Scream was released, and it quickly reached cult horror film status. From its star-studded cast, including Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette, as well as its impressive box office draw, totaling about $912 million from the last 6 films, it's no surprise that both the creatives behind the franchise and the fans that adore it would keep coming back for seconds, thirds, fourths, and so on. One of the allures of the franchise is the fact they managed to keep things fresh, despite being on the 6th film in the franchise and with no signs of slowing down. The first 4 films center around Sidney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell. The series begins with Sidney as a teenage girl, but ultimately, her last appearance in the 5th film ends with her as a woman. Sidney's first run-in with Ghostface occurs on the anniversary of her mother's death. She begins to receive sick and twisted phone calls from Ghostface, who is also to blame for a recent string of murders. As the film progresses, Sidney learns it's her boyfriend Billy and his best friend Stu who were to blame for the brutal murders. Sidney takes the leap from victimhood into a full-blown heroine as she protects herself and ultimately kills both Billy and Stu. The next 4 films has the same sort of overarching arc for Campbell's character. Rather than cowering, she always returns to fight the next Ghostface and put an end to the terrorizing. As time passed, Scream's creators realized the only way to keep the series bringing in the big bucks was to modernize it. Since the mid-2000s, Scream films quickly became an alluring draw to young, up-and-coming actors as a vehicle to help them shoot into superstardom. In Scream 4, set 11 years after Scream 3, the cast was littered with young starlets, Emma Roberts, Hayden Panettiere, and Rory Culkin most notably. The trend of casting burgeoning stars continued in the 5th film, entitled Scream, which, although was Campbell's last appearance in the Scream series, brought fans new horror darlings to obsess over: Melissa Barrera, Jasmine Savoy Brown, and Jenna Ortega, to name a few. The 5th film reveals Melissa's character Sam to be the illegitimate child of Billy, Sidney Prescott's boyfriend from the first Scream film, who revealed himself to be one of the first Ghostface killers. Sidney is immediately suspicious of Sam, but soon learns it's Sam's boyfriend that has malicious intent, not Billy's daughter. Film ends with Sam and her half-sister Tara, played by Jenna Ortega, defeating a new Ghostface killer with the help of his first and famous victim, Sidney. The finale of this film heralded in a new era for the film franchise and the departure of Neve Campbell in the series. In the 6th Scream film, Sam and Tara return, leading the series as the new heroines of the Scream universe. Sam and Tara now live together in New York City, where Tara attends university. Sam grapples with finding her place in this new city, constantly being bombarded by strangers who believe internet conspiracy theories that she was the Ghostface killer of the last installment. Sam and Tara are presented with challenge after challenge, seemingly losing friends left, right, and center to brutal murders at the hands of Ghostface. It isn't until the unmasking that we learn Detective Wayne Bailey and his 2 children, Quinn and Ethan, are to blame for the 6th film's murders. It is revealed that Wayne was the father of Richie, Sam's ex-boyfriend, and one of the Ghostface killers from the previous film. The trio takes up the Ghostface identity to avenge the death of son and brother Richie. Aside from the fact that Scream 6's Ghostface identity became a family affair, what about this trio made them some of the most tragic and sick yet? Let's start with the missing matriarch of the family. What happened to Richie, Quinn, and Ethan's mom? Well, when Gail Weathers released her book detailing the events of Richie's Ghostface killings, Wayne was not only heartbroken but infuriated. He set the objects of his desire for revenge on Sam and Tara. When Wayne wanted his wife to get involved in his plan for vengeance, she denied him. Not wanting to take part in avenging their son was reason enough to Wayne, who decided his wife needed to be murdered. Quinn and Ethan were in on it the whole time. helping their father concoct a plan to move to New York City and make Sam and Tara pay. While Wayne and his daughter Quinn still presented as father and daughter, they took the plan further by having Ethan create an entire new identity to lure Sam and Tara in. But what about this murder makes Wayne one of the more cruel and twisted Ghostface killers? In a deleted scene, we learn that Wayne made Ethan help kill his own mother. The nature of Ghostface killers is usually that they commit these brutal murders for their own benefit or desire. Whether it be psychological factors or pure greed to be in the spotlight, Ghostface killers have all made the choices to do so of their free will. Ethan, however, seems to have been pushed into the role without being given a choice. Had Ethan not been forced into murdering his mother, there's no telling what his fate could have been. Perhaps rather than becoming an infamous killer, he would have gone to college of his own accord and made friends, living out a long and happy life. Unfortunately, that was not the case for either Ethan nor Quinn. As for Wayne's daughter and Ethan's sister Quinn, her motivation is still a bit unclear. Throughout the film, Quinn did seem to be more invested in the murder sprees, but now that fans have been given the deleted scenes, one could suspect that perhaps Quinn wanted to prove herself to her father, or maybe ingratiate herself to him by proving how far she would go for his love and to avenge her brother Richie. The question remains, did Quinn refuse to help kill her mother? Is that why she partakes in these murders with such excitement? Did Quinn wish her father would have enlisted her help for the task and not her brother Ethan's? Regardless of what the answer may be, it's clear that Ethan and Quinn had very different relationships with their father. Unfortunately, no matter how different those relationships were, it landed them both in the exact same place, dead and disgraced. With the way the Scream franchise revives its killers and characters, there's no telling what the next films will hold in terms of both heroines and Ghostface. But with the continued success of the film series, fans can be certain ideas are well underway already for bringing another Ghostface to life. With the box office for Scream 6 coming in at $168 million worldwide, and it being the first of the franchise to get more than $100 million at the domestic US box office since the second film in 1997, it's almost certain we can expect another film to be gracing our screens soon. Fans can only hope their new favorite heroines, the rising starlets Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, will return to reprise the roles of Samantha and Tara. With the way that the Ghostface killers have had to find new tricks to keep things fresh, and writers have had to work overtime finding ways to make the plots connect, fans can be certain they have some more bloody thrills to look forward to in the near future. And as for Scream 6's killers, the Ghostface family trio killers are a sign that Ghostface killers will become increasingly sick and twisted for years to come.